with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center today with Matthew Lester, taking a look at the sunshine. Actually, if I had my choice, I'd much rather be out on the road today than what we were yesterday. Kind of an interesting day yesterday. Very snowy start, and then we had some snow as well a little bit later on yesterday afternoon as the temperatures were trying to warm up, but they never really did make it. So as a result, what are we looking at right now? Well, mostly sunny skies. We've got a high pressure system over Ohio that's keeping us on the nice side of things, and eventually it will give way to a low pressure system, and we'll talk a whole lot more about that as we move through the weather forecast, because not only are we going to be looking at clouds on the increase, but we're also going to be looking at increasing winds, and we are going to be looking at a very good chance, once again, of measurable amount of snow. It was rather deceptive yesterday because we did pick up quite a bit of snow, especially in some areas close to a foot, closer to Lake Huron, but it never really did appear as though we got a lot of snow, but we did. And it was the fluffy type variety. It was firm, but it was still fluffy, easy to navigate and move around. This particular system that is going to be moving in is not so much the case. But right now, Matthew, what do we have on the thermometer?
Currently, over at the airport, it's partly sunny at 16. Over in Midland, it's partly sunny at 18. Here at Radio Center, it's partly sunny at 16. We have southwest winds at 6 miles per hour. And our pressure's at 30.63, and it's falling.
If you got to go over on the west side of the state to hit 20 degrees right now, we are looking at 20 in the Holland area, 20 degrees in Ludington. Muskegon is coming in at 23, and that's about it. Well, Frankfort is looking at 20, and Manistee also at 20 degrees. You move a little bit further to the north and to the west in the Upper Peninsula, no one is in double digits except for Copper Harbor. They're currently at 14. Everybody else all across the Upper Peninsula is looking at single digits. Sawyer Gwynn, the Air Force Base there, is looking at 3 degrees, and it's 5 in Houghton and 5 in Iron Mountain. Now, we kind of alluded to what's going to be happening over the next 2 to 3 days. And once again, it is going to be very interesting, but it's not uncommon. Matter of fact, we did have, we had picked up a year ago somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 inches of snow on tomorrow on the 15th of February. And as a lot of you remember, the February last year was a record-breaking warm February, but we did pick up just under a half a foot. And then as far as Sunday is concerned, upcoming Sunday, the record there is 6 inches of snow, and that was set in 1954. We do have a chance of breaking both of those records. That's right, 5 inches on the 15th and 6 inches on the 16th. The reason why, because we do have the high pressure moving away from us, and we have a low pressure system which will be forming. It's over Utah right now, and it is going to be moving into and around Nebraska and northern Kansas by later on tonight. That's when it's going to begin to funnel into and gather some of the moisture that will be coming from that high pressure system, which will be moving into Pennsylvania and New York State and kind of down into West Virginia as well, pulling that moisture from the Gulf up into the central part of the continental United States, and it'll be meshing with some cold air from another high pressure system that's well up in Canada north of the Dakotas. As a result, low pressure is going to be developing. That trough, that roadway that has become very favorable for low pressure systems to be moving along is once again going to be ushering in a low pressure system from Nebraska tonight. It'll be moving into and around Missouri, western Missouri, during the noon hour tomorrow. And then eventually it is going to be moving into western Ohio as we move into tomorrow night. And then into Sunday, that low pressure system is going to be moving through Ohio, through Pennsylvania. And by later in the afternoon on Sunday, it'll be over New York State. Some forecasts are indicating that that low is going to take a little bit more time than what we're thinking. I believe at this stage of the game, that low is going to move along. It'll be slower than the low that affected our weather over the last 24 to 36 hours, but it's still going to progress. It's not going to really stop, wiggle around, do some strange things, and then eventually gradually move away from us. If that's the case, that we don't see it hanging around all that long, it is going to be gathering quite a bit of energy as it moves into the Ohio River Valley. That's why snow will start tonight, more than likely before or possibly right after midnight. I think we could see some snow showers develop before midnight tonight. Those snow showers are going to continue during the day tomorrow, on again, off again, but I think fairly steady and fairly light as we go into Saturday afternoon. It's going to pick up a little bit more in intensity later tomorrow afternoon, and then tomorrow night and Sunday morning. The reason for that is that low is going to be affecting our weather. It's going to be moving along the Ohio River. It's not going to approach the Michigan border. If it would affect the Michigan border, we wouldn't have as much snow. We would have more water, more ice, more possibly rain shower activity. And that's not going to be out of the forecast as far as extreme southern Michigan, north, or I should say south of the Michigan border with Indiana and Ohio. I think they're going to get a little bit more liquid precipitation out of this system, but that's how fine the line is going to be for us, all snow or some freezing precipitation, liquid precipitation mixing in. So the forecast for today, we should work our way up to about 22. We'll drop down to right around 20, maybe 19 for a low tonight. Sun will set this evening at 6:06, rise tomorrow morning at 7:34. Again, clouds, a mix of ice and snow south of the Michigan border and very possibly south of the I-94 roadway. That's how close it's going to be. But again, the exact path of that low will determine that line of liquid precipitation, frozen precipitation. But I think right here, it's going to be all snow. And again, our temperature really isn't going to move all that much from our high temperature later on this afternoon. Tomorrow, we're going to work our way up to about 29. That's going to be the key. If we work our way into the low 30s, we're going to see less snow and a little bit better chance of some liquid precipitation in the form of ice. I think it's going to stay right at 29 degrees. We're going to be looking at snow showers in the Great Lakes Bay area, Michigan's thumb. Definitely 3 inches, more likely closer to 5 inches late tonight and during the day tomorrow. Tomorrow night, it will continue. The temperature will drop to about 23, 24, and it'll stay there as far as our high temperature for Sunday goes, which means if we're looking at 24, 25 degrees, we're looking at snow. Snow accumulations, again, late Saturday night, more than likely early Sunday morning through the morning hours of Sunday, an additional 3 to 5 inches is in the forecast there. So if you want to do easy math, you're looking at a grand sum total of right around 6 to 10 inches of snow to take us from Friday night into the early afternoon hours on Saturday. Saturday, we won't see much late Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. Everything will pretty well clear out of here as far as the moisture goes. And I think we're going to not see too much in the way of cloud cover because our low on Sunday night will be 10. Then during the day on Monday, mostly cloudy. That will be our high for the day, 10. and looking for partly cloudy skies on Monday night with a low of 0 to 3 below 0. Clouds and some sun on Tuesday, 18 degrees for a high, 0 for a low. Clouds on Wednesday, clouds on Thursday. High temperatures around the 20-degree mark. Nighttime lows 0 to 5 above 0 during that period. 6 to 10-day outlook, below average on the temperatures. That takes us all the way through the 27th of the month. But then we turn around a little bit. We're not going to see the moisture flow as we move into the second half of February. We're looking for precipitation values to actually be below normal for this time of the year. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Again, a very interesting weather scenario to come up for the next few days. Plan on doing some shoveling and definitely plan on working with some wetter snow. So take your time. Weather report brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions. Matthew, who do we have on deck?
Up next, we have Gary Kaufman from Star of the West, and we also have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
We'll be right back.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Michigan Truck Spring of Saginaw, your complete parts and service headquarters for light, medium, heavy-duty trucks and trailers, as well as buses and recreational vehicles. They've been working at it for 45 years. They've been able to be around for 45 years because they have quality parts and service at very competitive prices. 800-358-4751 or buy online at truckspring.com. Before we get to the markets, let's say good morning to Kim Weiss over at Lingle Equipment. And Kim, I imagine you got a few snowblowers handy there.
You betcha, Terry. You're talking snow, snow, snow. I don't care if it's wet snow, dry snow. Snow is still snow. So if you need to get it out of your driveway, what better way to do it than with a Kubota BX2380 subcompact tractor? We talked about this a couple weeks ago. We have them here in stock. That's a 23-horse hydro transmission, four-wheel drive, power steering, all the bells and whistles on a subcompact tractor with a 50-inch front mount, two-stage snowblower. I've got one myself. It worked like a champ yesterday. It's just cold, but it still works. Works like a champ. You can be owning one of them for $244 a month. Come on in and see us. However you want to do it, we can make it happen. We're right here alongside I-75 to south of Zilwaukee Bridge off the Washington Road exit. Or give me a call at 989-754-7801. Or send me an email at k.weiss@lingle1.com, and we'll see we can make it happen.
Very good. Kim, you have a nice weekend. And again, it doesn't sound like you're going to have to shovel, right?
No, I don't have to shovel. I don't have to. I sit in the seat. There's no problem there.
No problem at all.
Have a good weekend. And I heard this on last hour with Ard Lewis that a guy said, all these young guys out there, be careful how you operate today and tonight. Because I tell you, in 9 months, you could either be going deer hunting or changing diapers.
There you
go. That was a classic.
Kim, have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again. Kim Weiss over at Lingle Equipment. Well, joining us now, Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. And Gary, I know you've been chomping at the bit. You were hoping that the markets would hold up there. We wouldn't get delayed any more than we have to. Last time I looked, we were looking at some pretty good numbers.
Yeah, Terry, we're up across the board here this morning. A lot of green on the board. Wheat's kind of leading the market here. and that's basically being fueled by another Arctic cold spell that's set to threaten that uncovered wheat crop in the fields in the plains, including southern plains, with these below zero temperatures that are expected over the next week. And I think this is probably the third likely winter kill threat we've seen lately. So, we've mentioned many times before, we're going to kill this thing 6 times before we get out of dormancy.
I was going to say it's like the Rayovac cat had 9 lives.
Yeah, and also supporting wheat, we've got some tenders from both Algeria, Saudi Arabia, buying large quantities here yesterday, and we got both Jordan and Bangladesh tendering some next week. So we got some nice export numbers too on the wheat arena, of course. And then tariff talk continues to be in the market. There's just a lot of reciprocal things going to happen down the road, and is delayed to April 1st on a lot of products. So that's viewed as positive for the grain. So, a lot of negotiations will take place between now and then, and hopefully they get it all ironed out and be good for everybody.
So right now on the board, what do you have?
Yeah, let's call cash wheat up 20, Terry, at 583 on the white, 508 on the red. New crop wheat, let's call it up 19 at 622 on the white, 537 on the red. Cash corn up a nickel at 428. New crop is up 2 at 410. Cash soybeans currently up 11 at 961, and new crop, let's call it up a dime, Terry, at 975.
Nice way to end the week. Hopefully we can hang on to it for the rest of the day, huh?
Well, that's true, because we are going into a holiday weekend. There's no trade on Monday. Trade will reopen Monday night at 8 o'clock our time. So let's hope we can hold on to it and there's not a sell-off for the holiday weekend. So.
Yeah, there you go. Gary, you have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
Sounds good, Terry.
Gary
Bye-bye.
Kaufman over at Star of the West. A little bit more in depth as far as what the markets are doing. Doug Klein from Oppenheimer joining us. Market report brought to you by Thumb Bank and Trust, making agricultural loans since 1895. They do understand farming, and they know the challenges that are very demanding on farmers. That's why it's always important to think twice before you make that jump. And the folks maybe that you should be talking to before you take that jump are the experts at Thumb Bank. Locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay Area. Thumb Bank and Trust, where relationships are built on trust, equal opportunity lender and member FDIC. And by Schaefer and Beerline, they want you to know that everyone qualifies for those employee price discounts on all new in-stock 2024 Ram heavy-duty trucks at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Morning, Doug.
Good morning.
What are we looking at now?
Well, retail sales came in and they fell about 0.9% in the month of January. So that was more than expected. So the economy is not doing as good as expected. So something to do with interest rates. And so the dollar's down about 64 ticks, down to 106.67. So that's probably setting off some of your chain reactions that you're seeing in commodities. Silver actually hit a new one-year high today, cleared 33, so it's kind of getting interesting. Again, on the grains, I'm sure the sellers are starting to dry up to some point, so we'll see how far that can go. What else happened? Walmart, of course, hit a new high today. Starbucks, of course, hit a new high today. Merck hit a new low. Moderna hit a new low, but has turned around. Elanco Animal Health hit a new low today. I thought that was kind of interesting to see that in the mix. Who knows on that in that case? But here's your numbers. March corn 498.5, up a nickel. September corn 476 3/4, up 2. The March soybeans 1042 1/4, up 12 1/4. September soybeans 1052 3/4, up 9 1/4. The March wheat is 598 3/4, up 21, and September wheat is 636, up 19. Crude oil, everything in energy is fairly steady except for natural gas being a lot higher. Crude oil is 70.84, down 30 cents. Heating oil is 239.5, up a half a penny. Gasoline is 209.1, that's down 2 cents. Natural gas is 378 3/4, that is up 10.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, US dollar buys $1.4175 Canadian, that's down 16 ticks. The dollar buys 152.22 yen. That's down 57 ticks. The euro's at 104.98. That continues to climb, up 34 ticks. The dollar's at 106.67, down 64 ticks. Gold's at 29.10.90. It did not get that new high, but it came awful close, down $34.50. Silver's 33.10, up 22.5 cents. Platinum's 10.12.40, down 25 bucks. And copper's at 471.20, down 11.5 cents.
All right. Well, good news in some areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just wait and see. Everything's closed on Monday here too, so Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I'm pretty sure that President's Day, nothing's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you have a nice holiday.
Thanks, you too.
And enjoy the snow.
I'm going to try. It sounds cold, but I'm going to try.
We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Okay.
Doug, thank you so much. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland seed dealer. Justin Varner is ready to take care of anything that you need right now at Freeland Bean and Grain. Remember, Dairyland Seed. They've got seed with your name on it from your friends at Freeland Bean and Grain since 1983. Where serving you is their business. Chuck Cervinsky on the line with us right now from Maple Hill Nursery. And Chuck, things are heating up at the nursery right now. You got a sale going on, but unfortunately there's a deadline date on that sale.
Definitely. We've got the first promotion of the year from Pollywood. It's the Front Porch Revival Sale, and it's a factory-sponsored sale through Pollywood. It's going to go on through February 25th, and we've got some great deals right now on a select group of products. A lot of real popular and neat things: dining and deep seating sets, benches, day beds, rockers, Adirondack chairs are among some of the items. And again, order time right now is pretty fast. Most things are coming in 10 to 12 business days, but your chance to save ends February 25th, so you're going to want to get in before that date.
Yeah, you're talking next week. People have got
definitely
a chance to shop. So,
week after next, actually. But yeah, it's coming quick.
It is. It's really coming quick. And obviously, with the weather being the way it is, we don't want people to be trying to rush out over the weekend, but you got next week, Monday through Friday, and that's about it.
Yeah, definitely. And then a little bit the week after. But yeah, even though we've got snow piles out, the deals are pretty hot right now on Pollywood.
Yeah, and pricing, again, because of the sale, it's advantageous to get in there right now.
Definitely. Yeah, there's some really good savings on stuff. And again, this is the first sale of the year, and there'll probably be some more, but probably the deals won't be as good as they are right now.
That's right. Chuck, you have a nice weekend. I know you'll be doing some moving snow.
Yeah, shoveling some of that white stuff.
There you go. We'll talk to you next week. Chuck Cervinsky, Maple Hill Nursery over in Midland. Stephanie Zelenko joining us right now over at AgriLiquid. And Stephanie, I don't think anybody's complaining as far as farmers go with this snow, are they?
Nope. Everybody I've talked to is pretty happy that we finally have some cover there for our wheat crop and then get some of those cooler temperatures. I know we have, 6 to 18 inches of frost, depending upon where you're at, to kind of help with some of that disease insect control for spring.
But it might be a good idea to be contacting folks like you for a couple of reasons, right?
It is, now's the time. I know, on our farm, we've been, talking to those input providers and, the way the markets are, we have high interest rates and we have, high input prices in comparison to what our crop is. So guys have kind of been holding off a little bit on making those decisions. But we're, as we approach spring and get closer to that, we need to kind of lock in those decisions. I know we have been doing that at home, just to make sure we can get those products that we want and make sure we have them in time for when we can get out to the field. Good advice. Stephanie, you take care. Have a nice weekend. We'll talk to you next week. Okay. Stephanie Zelenko over at AgriLiquid. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at High Fidelity Genetics. You get non-GMO seed corn and soybeans that even qualify for organic production, and you get them for less. High quality, high yielding seed at half the price. HighFidelityGenetics.com. That's where you can research them or give them a call at 515-434-7333. We'll be right back.
I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Ambassador, where you have a choice to make. You can lease a 2025 Equinox for $301 a month, or for just $2 more, a Chevy Blazer, also a 2025, for $303 a month. Basically, they're almost the same great payment. The Blazer is bigger, and it's still the same vehicle that you come to know and love, but the 2025 Equinox has been totally redesigned and updated with lots of new safety and other features. The Blazer has been a popular and hot seller ever since its sharp design, but now that the Equinox has been totally redesigned with lots of new safety and other features, it's turning heads. So you've got your choice. If you're needing a little more room, the Blazer starts at $303 a month. Loyal Equinox owners will love the new styling starting at just $301. Make the comparison today. Cook Chevrolet M15 Top of the Hill Ambassador.
Payments based on GM employee and family lease. 10,000 miles per year, 2,000 cash down plus tax. Call or visit us on the web at cookchevysuperstore.com. Chevy, together, let's drive.
Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. They are licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance. You can get a hold of their agents directly on their cells for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese at 989-868-4722. The Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we conclude our program with a playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.